Well, thank you very much. Good morning, and thank you for your interest in LETA's RFP for a voice logging system, and thanks for your participation on the call today. My name is Ed Roth. I'm the Technical Manager with Larimer Emergency Telephone Authority, and I'm the Administrator for this voice logger RFP. You'll find my contact information on page 3 of the RFP document, right there. So if you have any questions that come up after the conference today, please submit them to me via email, and I will collect all of those and post responses on the LETA website. And with me on the call today is LETA's Executive Director, Kimberly Culp.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We're really excited about this project, and we're excited that you're interested enough to at least join us for this part of the process and to hear the conversation, so thank you.
All right. As I said, 4 questions that come up during the RFP proposal process. We are interested in collecting all those and submitting them in a fashion so that everyone can see them. I'm posting right now the URL to our website where those questions and answers will be posted. You should see that in the chat window. So any questions that are submitted via chat today and anything that comes in up to and including the deadline of December 23rd, that is the last day to post questions. We will get all those questions and answers posted to the URL you see in the chat window right now. Okay, so I just wanted to run through some of the high points of the RFP, make sure you understand it and you have any questions you have answered soon. So let's start with the schedule of events on page 4 of the RFP document. We intend to stick to the dates shown on this page here, but it's our discretion to change dates if a need arises. You'll find the intent to bid form on page 5. We ask all interested vendors to submit that to me at the address listed on page 4 of the RFP document. And the deadline for submitting that intent to bid is end of day December 11th. Section 1 of the RFP deals with all of the terms used throughout the document. I think we've collected anything and everything that could come up in terms of things that need to be defined. So if something's not, please submit it as a question to me, and we will get the answer out there for everyone. Section 2 on page 9 of the document, if I can get to the correct page. Is where the administrative details for the RFP reside. Of note in that section on page 12, the bid submittal process. Make sure you adhere to those guidelines. Specifically the deadlines for submitting your response. The responses have to be complete, all questions answered, and they need to be on time in order to be considered by LETA. Page 15, the related experience statement. We're asking all vendors to submit this, and what we want to do is, get a detailed list of all your installations in the past 24 months that are similar in scope to our project. And what we're hoping to do is gain an insight in your ability to deliver the kind of solution we're asking for, and we want to see a demonstrated long-term, stable deployment to help us make a decision. So that's our reason for doing that, and we hope that you see that the time it takes to put that information together is of benefit to us. So Moving on to section 3 on page 18. This describes the operating environment of all of our PSAPs. And as a counterpart to this section here, you can consult attachment A to the RFP, and that's a PDF diagram document. I'll pull that up quickly here so we can discuss that. And again, the URL I posted in the chat window contains the RFP document and this attachment in case you don't have them already. So this document is 6 pages, and the first 5 pages are site diagrams. So they describe all the recording inputs and hopefully provide all the detail you need to propose your solution in terms of the types of connections and the numbers. So as you can see, the site is described up at the top here. And then all the diagram, I believe, is self-explanatory. The last page of that, page 6, this illustrates a MO network that connects our sites. This isn't required that you use this network. If there is a value that can be added to your deployment by utilizing this network, we will consider proposals that use it. But things like security and access will have to be hammered out before we allow access to that network, but there is a potential for using it. Okay, moving on to section 4 in page 20. This is where the detailed system specifications and requirements start. We ask that vendors respond to every single requirement in this section, and the response options and the definitions of those responses are detailed on page 15. I'll just jump up there quickly. So this item W, these are the 4 response options that you have when responding to those specifications and requirements, so that we ask that you adhere to these, just so that we can fairly evaluate all responses. Within that requirements section on page 28, I wanted to draw your attention to, sorry, I'm looking for the correct page here. Maintenance and support for the system. There's a lot of description here and other places in the documents regarding the monitoring, maintenance, and how troubleshooting and repair are to be carried out on the system you propose. We ask that you read through all of that very carefully and submit any questions you have about our desires for the maintenance and support options. So I guess that's, it's a critical component for us. We need to make sure that it's the system put in place is supported well. So just ask that you have a full understanding of that and ask any questions that you have regarding that before you submit your proposal. At the tail end of the requirements and specifications, there are additional options laid out here. If you are proposing any additional options outside of the core of your proposal, make sure that you include pricing for them so that we can weigh them out separately. Getting down to the tail end of the document here, Appendix A is the cost proposal cover sheet. Make sure you include this summary sheet along with your more detailed price breakdown when you submit your response. And that is the end of everything I wanted to cover in terms of the document. I'm just checking through some some of the questions that have come in. I see there's only a couple of them, and I will post responses quickly on those. I'm going to go ahead and leave the GoToMeeting session open for a while for the attendees to submit any additional questions you have right now. And then once the session is closed today, make sure you submit your questions via email to the address on page 3 of the RFP. Kimberly, do you have anything else to add before we close the conference down?
No, I don't. Thank you, Ed.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you again for your involvement in this. We're excited to deploy a new solution that meets LETA's requirements, and we hope you're excited too. Thank you.